Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good day to Miss Fariha. Today our group will be presenting about gamification in learning, the issues and the strategies. Before that, let me introduce my team members. My team members are Nur AYUMI, NURFARAH ATHIRAH, NORLAILY WAFA, and lastly, I am SOFIYYA ZULAYKHA binti MUHAMMED EDHAM. First, I will start with introduction. Gamification in learning uses game elements to increase engagement and motivation in educational settings. It is widely adopted in higher education and training environments due to its potential to enhance participation and learning outcomes. However, when gamification is poorly designed or relies too heavily on rewards, it may reduce intrinsic motivation and limit long-term effectiveness. Therefore, understanding these issues is essential to ensure gamification is implemented in a meaningful and effective way. Now, I'll pass this presentation to the next presenter, Nur AYUMI.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good day, Miss Farha, Aiza and whomever watching. I am Nur AYUMI binti AHMAD TARMIZI and I will be continuing this presentation with the definitions of gamification in learning by different authors. According to an article written by Athanasios Christopoulos and Stylianos Mistakidis, gamification in learning refers to the intentional use of game design elements and mechanics in educational settings that are not games. It commonly applied through digital learning platforms and it aims to increase learner engagement, motivation and goal achievement. In one of published articles by Pawan Mimpu, he defines that gamification in education context involves integrating game elements into learning activities to improve understanding and engagement, particularly in challenging subjects such as programming. Gamified learning environments help learners with limited prior experience by increasing participation, motivation, and learning effectiveness. Authors Amina Khaldi, Rokia Boizidi, and Fahima Nader in their article defines gamification in learning as the application of game design elements to educational activities to reduce learner distraction and increase student involvement. By making learning tasks more interactive and rewarding, gamification captures students' attention and encourages continuous participation. That is all from me. My groupmate will continue this presentation. Thank you.
Hi, my name is NORLAILY binti Muhammad MUSA and I will present about problem statement. For the problem statement, we highlight two key issues related to gamification in learning. The first issue is short-term engagement. Gamification is effective in attracting learners at the early stage. However, its impact often declines over time. According to a Talent LMS survey, 89% of learners feel motivated by gamified learning. Yet, 33% lose interest when the activities become repetitive and overly focused on rewards. This shows that poorly designed gamification encourages surface-level participation rather than meaningful learning. Gardner also emphasizes that such approaches result in low knowledge retention and limited long-term performance improvement. The second issue is inequality and learner pressure. Competitive features such as leaderboards tend to favor digitally skilled and highly competitive learners, while others may feel excluded. Research published in Computers and Education indicates that over 40% of learners feel stressed or demotivated by these competitive elements. This directly challenges the goal of inclusive and effective learning in diverse learning environments. This issue demonstrates that while gamification has strong potential, it must be carefully designed to ensure sustainable, inclusive, and meaningful learning outcomes. Next, I will pass to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum and good evening to Miss Fariha Aiza binti Ramli. My name is NURFARAH ATHIRAH ARIFF. Now, I will continue the presentation to talk about the recommendations. To improve long-term engagement, gamified learning should focus less on simple reward like points and badges and should focus more on real-world, problem-based challenges that help learners apply what they are learning in practical situations. When activities are connected to real tasks, learners see clear value in the learning process, which support deeper understanding and lasting motivation. In addition, using progressive difficulty and a variety of activities can prevent learning from becoming repetitive, which is important because studies shows that 33% of learners lose interest when gamification feels repetitive. Designing gamification around intrinsic motivators, such as giving learners more control over their learning and helping them build mastery of skills, further encourages sustained engagement and better knowledge retention over time. The second recommendation, to create a more inclusive learning environment, gamification should reduce unnecessary pressure caused by constant competition. One effective approach is to limit mandatory competition and make leaderboards optional, as competitive elements can cause stress for over 40% of the learners. Instead, incorporating collaborative features such as team-based challenges helps learners feel supported and increase confidence, especially among those who may feel discouraged by competition. Additionally, offering flexible learning path allows learners to progress at their own pace based on their skill level, which helps to prevent exclusion and ensures that all learners, regardless of ability or background, can participate comfortably and effectively. That is all from me. Thank you.
Now we have come to the last part of the presentation, the conclusion. In conclusion, gamification can be an effective learning approach when it is designed thoughtfully. While it can initially increase motivation, poorly designed gamification may lead to superficial learning, learner pressure, and exclusion. By focusing on meaningful activities, intrinsic motivation, and inclusive strategies, gamification can support deeper learning and long-term engagement. Therefore, careful implementation is essential to achieve positive learning outcomes for all learners. That's all for our group. Thank you.